So we're back on Steel Faith Overhaul in a 1v1 as the Wood Elves squaring off against the Warriors of Chaos. Dragons straight up do not get enough love in vanilla. Their armor is kind of low, they barely have more HP than a Pegasus, God knows why, and they generally perform more as a cycle-charging terror bomb than any kind of frontline combatant, which SFO fixes. Insanely expensive to field at almost 2,700 gold, but heavily armored, and a huge HP pool means you can stick them into combat and expect them to survive, which is nice. Orion, King in the Woods, the living avatar of Karnas and the father of the elven race, is way beastlier here too. His vortex and bombardment spells are really good, and his missile and weapon damage are pretty insane, both over 500, just an all-around good pick. Waywatchers have higher armor piercing, longer range, stalk, and snipe, so pretty much everything you'd ever want from an archer unit. And Hawk Riders are a really nice niche pick for the Wood Elves now. Their shooting has been improved dramatically, and they now have 110 move speed, which is pretty crazy. Rear charge from them can turn a lot of cavalry fights in your favor with high armor piercing, but they're still squishy as hell, so if you stick them into combat in the front lines, they're going to drop like flies. So essentially with the Wood Elves, you're getting a bunch of really fast, really killy units that still die insanely quickly. My build is entirely based around hit and run, no melee line whatsoever, just pure mobility, and I get them from the Hawk Riders and especially these Wild Riders with 110 move speed. Now, unfortunately, Shadowplay crapped out on me for Marcus's army composition, but he has a Chaos Lord on a Dragon, a Metal Sorcerer, a Feral Manticore, 2 Chaos Knights, which are terrifying in this mod. They hit like an armor-piercing truck and have a bonus first large, and a whole bunch of Chaos Trolls and Chaos Warriors as his main line. He has a lot of air presence and mobility on the field as well, and looking back on it, these opening volleys were pretty dumb. Stupid me for expecting my elite Wood Elf archers who have trained for hundreds of years and earned a reputation as the best marksman on the planet to actually hit something the size of a flying barn, but yeah, it's Total War, and archers are bad at hitting flying targets. What else is new? I gave Marcus a lot of information with those shots though. He now knows that I have a bunch of Waywatchers on the field, which I didn't really have to give him that info considering the amount of damage I did there, which was pretty minimal, and I missed a lot of shots, kind of wasted some ammo there, so yeah, not ideal way to start this game, but with that said, I am going to refocus my energies on killing these Chaos Warriors, the great weapons who do not have a shield block chance, and with the high AP from my Waywatchers, I should be able to tear through them relatively easily. Now, the Chaos Dragon is coming for me, will land on Orion's head, and that will give me the signal to send in the Hawk Riders to tie down the Chaos Dragon, and allow the Forest Dragon to also land on top of it, and the Dance of the Dragons will begin. Now over here, Feral Manticore was going after some of my Hawk Riders, and I landed on the Chaos Warhounds with poison, and then tied down the Feral Manticore with my Wild Riders as well. And it's getting really scary because that flyer fight, is very close to the Chaos main line now. Bombardment spell coming from above, landing directly on the heads of some of those Chaos Warriors who are taking a pretty decent amount of damage, and the Metal Sorcerer is flying forward. Now I did spring an ambush on the left flank, managed to get a rear charge on the Chaos Knights, and didn't realize I was there. It's a good way to start, and then I'm going to pull out with my 110 move speed and prevent him from turning around and letting that bonus first large go to work on my Cav. And the Forest Dragon is still looking to engage the Chaos Dragon, and I don't have a great way of dealing with this Metal Sorcerer in the back lines as he's popping Gehenna's Golden Hounds and Searing Doom in the middle of my formation, which will do quite a bit of damage to some lower armored targets. Waywatchers only have 15 armor, and my Hawk Riders took a bunch of damage in that flyer fight. But now, here comes a 1v1 duel between the Forest Dragon and the Chaos Dragon. They have gigantic HP pools, both around, I think around 10,000 HP, maybe 9,000. So that will be going on for a while despite their high melee attack and armor piercing damage. It'll be tough going for both of them, and I'm getting some really good shots into those Chaos Warriors, great weapons who have just taken so much damage here. Look at that, they're dropping like flies at this point. And Waywatchers will put the hurt on armored units if you don't have a shield, and those guys learned the hard way, turn into big red pincushions. And now the kiting begins. I obviously can't afford to take a melee engagement because I don't have a front line. I have no actual melee infantry whatsoever, but I can cycle charge in with my Wild Riders and allow my Waywatchers more time to escape and more time to shoot. So big charge up the center to tie those units down. Bit of friendly fire there as well, unfortunately. Forest Dragon and Chaos Dragon still ripping each other's entrails out. You can see the difference 4,000 more HP makes. One of those flyers would already be routing if this was a vanilla battle. I popped Regrowth from the Lore of Life, which is a pretty huge heal, and grants that Forest Dragon another 22% physical resistance to keep him in the fight for a bit longer. Waywatcher shots pouring in now from the flank, and Hawk Riders completely surrounded this War of Metal caster as he pops. Oh, he's going to do an overcast and will kill himself there, surrounded by the armor-piercing Hawk Riders, plummeting to the ground. That's a pretty big kill there as Gehenna's Golden Hounds bounces through actually a little bit of friendly fire from his own Gehenna's Golden Hounds there. And now the remnants of my Hawk Riders and the Forest Dragon will be able to surround the Chaos Dragon and hopefully finish it off, but that will not be an easy task whatsoever. Wild Riders running down some routing units, and nice Hounds of Karness bouncing through some of those halberds. Nice shots as well from the Waywatchers, the armor piercing, doing so much work for me. And as each of these volleys pours in, those Chaos Warriors are dropping so quickly. And I've got all the mobility on my side now, except for these Chaos Trolls, which will be able to catch up to my Waywatchers if I'm not careful. So I had to commit my Wild Riders there, tie them down. With their regeneration, I don't think I'll be able to kill them in melee very easily. Wild Riders will have a tough time in that fight. And some of these over here, surrounded by the Chaos Knights who are now coming in to engage. If he can get my Wild Riders off the field, he'll be able to run into my Waywatchers with impunity and easily be able to take this battle. So Chaos Knights will be the #1 priority. But at the moment, I'm actually shooting into the Chaos Trolls to try to get them off the field. We will rout, but those Wild Riders are dead. And things are starting to look a little bit iffy for me. I'm losing some, yeah, Chaos Warhounds with poison, charging in from behind. Will tie down those Waywatchers. Might be able to fend for themselves, actually. They have pretty decent melee stats in Steel Faith. But Orion, 66 speed is no joke. Faster than some cav units. And as he charges in, he will terrify those Warhounds, and they will shatter. So I still have my archers intact for the most part. Wild Riders are very low, and the halberds are getting dangerously close to my archer line. They're running out of ammo too. So I might have to commit Orion here to try and tie down all of these Chaos Knights. And here he comes. Big charge into the flank of the Chaos Knights, and bombardment spell. Sky opening up from above and pounding those Chaos Knights. Some real nice damage done on them. And the Hawk Riders charging in from behind. We did chase off the Chaos Dragon. Did not manage to kill him, though you can see he has a little bit of HP left. And what is that? That's Dwellers Below, boys. That's not a spell you get to see very often. Malevolent, entangling roots, reaching up from the earth below to skewer and shred, rip and tear anything that gets too close. Look at those casualties racking up, man. That is beautiful. Don't get to see that spell very often, but it is actually very good in this mod. I did more than half HP damage to a unit of Chaos Warriors there. Rounded some of the Chaos Knights as well. That was beautiful. And Orion skewering some Chaos Warriors. Oh, I love that animation, dude. That is so cool. Nice. He's going to smack a bunch of them into the ground. Pick up another guy. Skewer him. Awesome. That is so cool looking. Just toss him aside like it's nothing. Orion is tearing through those Chaos Warriors at the moment. Forest Dragon is at half HP. Regrowth has kept him in the fight for a very long time, but it must be running out of mana at this point. Not a lot of Winds and Magic left after that overcast Dwellers Below. And I'll commit him to a big block of Chaos Warriors and tie him down as Hounds of Karness bounce through the formation. Really nice. I'm running out of ammo, but they are getting rear shots off, so the shield block chance will not be taken into effect. Breath spell going off for the Forest Dragon. And just tying down a huge block of Chaos Warriors. This is what you want from your dragon, to be able to just tie down infantry, stick them in the meat grinder, and expect them to survive. It's definitely what he's doing now. And another bombardment spell opening up. The cooldowns are definitely lower in this mod than they are in regular vanilla. It's nice to see magic actually be pretty impactful here. And as those Chaos Warriors kind of blob up around the Forest Dragon, trying desperately to take them down, all that range firepower is definitely turning things in my favor here. Not over yet, though, because the Chaos Dragon is still left alive, and he's coming back now. A few more shots in with the Waywatchers. Orion at half HP, dealing with some Chaos Knights. Look at how, oh god, he's gigantic. He's like way bigger than that Chaos Mount, which are admittedly a little bit small in this game. I think they honestly should be a lot bigger. Because Chaos Destriers are scary as hell. They are gigantic horses, and they're not in this game for some reason. But the halberds are coming in now. Orion might be able to get some range shots off on them from behind. Those halberds will do work against that forest dragon if they're able to make it into melee. Hefting that spear. Oh, nice shot into the Chaos Knights from behind. Chaos Trolls, I think they just got terrified. And Forest Dragon is doing everything I needed to right now. It's not getting a massive amount of kills, but it's tying a lot of stuff down. Chaos Dragon came back in from behind. Zinchi Breath going off, killing a bunch of Waywatchers. And the Forest Dragon will have none of that and go chase down that Chaos Dragon, land on his head, and kill him with a charge. Chaos Lord is dead at this point. And with the Forest Dragon now on Overwatch, things are looking pretty good for me. Orion has a ton of mobility as well. Will have a lot of shots with his Spears of Kurnus. And of course, technically infinite bombardment and vortex spells as well. Nice shot, jibbing one of those Chaos Warriors on the flank. Might be able to get a couple more cool shots in. I think does 500 damage, and a lot of it is armor piercing. So yeah, his range fire, oh man. Yeah, that will literally cut a heavily armored Chaos Warrior in half. And finally, out of ammo, my Waywatchers will be committed into melee. As a Forest Dragon lands in the background, but that will get a bunch of those units terrified, and I will take the field. So, the battle lines shifted crazily in that one, and that's the kind of build that I absolutely adore playing with the Wood Elves. Pure kite build. Didn't bring any infantry whatsoever, just pure mobility, cav, and air superiority. Use that range firepower to my advantage. Focus fire down the units that don't have shield block chance, and it ended up working out pretty well for me. Felt very themey, you know, very Azrai-like, very Wood Elvy. Got a lot of shooting in there. It's nice to see Waywatchers actually make a big impact, and of course the bombardment and vortex spells also doing quite a bit of damage. A lot of fun, man, just a lot of fun. So really enjoying Steel Faith, and of course I'll be bringing you some more of that relatively soon. I did want to mention relatively quickly here, Pharaoh of War is a friend of mine on YouTube. He has his own YouTube channel, and he has a bounty idea for multiplayer where if somebody does something cheesy to you in a match, or they beat you in a tournament or something, you can post a bounty on their head, and if someone else beats them, they can collect that bounty. He has a good explanation video, but I think it's a really cool idea that could help foster some more longevity in the Total War scene. Link will be in the pinned comment, and hope you guys enjoyed. Indie Pride, signing out for now.